Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 235. All the way live. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. We totally appreciate it. And that sounded more sarcastic than I meant for it to come out. we do
sounded like I didn't mean it.
Yeah, we actually appreciate it. Not like we totally appreciate you being here.
Like we have so many people that we just can't keep up, but we totally love you all.
Oh,
the slow speak is only because it's morning. That's it.
That's right. Yes, that's why that sounded like that. Sorry. Because
we know it's so hilarious. Hard for you to push play.
Oh my gosh, our community is the best. I mean, of course it is.
Yeah.
Tim Router.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
I heard that you're still at your house.
I'm still at my house. Last week I thought it was.
You thought it was the last
podcast
one?
Recording.
Yeah.
And no.
What happened?
No, it's not.
What happened?
No, we had the radon mitigation on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And, all right, well, let me back up. Here's kind of how my adulting has been going. Like, I have had absolutely no fun and no video games at all. It's just... So we had the radon mitigation happened on Thursday. They had to come back with a radon
It sounds
test.
like you had to go to court. You and radon.
Right? I know, doesn't it?
Today, playing the role of
Friday.
Timothy Hall is Tim Router.
Wapner.
So anyway, this woman needs I want my money back. Come on now.
Right.
I'm gonna sue.
So radon got me pregnant.
So
but now we in a mitigation.
And we got to find out my baby daddy. And
Router,
let's get this mitigation going.
Yeah. 99%.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had our radon mitigation scheduled on Thursday. They did it. It was great. Everything is fine and working great. So they have to come back on Friday and install a radon detector for the next 2 days. They did that, and then the buyer wants to bring in her own inspector to do another radon test.
What?
From a separate company, and that takes 2 days. So, we were supposed to close on like Monday or Tuesday, and that didn't happen. And plus, we found out that the buyer wanted to push back the closing until the 20th. So we're now closing on Monday at 10 a.m. So that being said, I had to change the movers again. So this is the third time we've changed them.
Oh, geez.
But this is final now. I think we're good. All the punch lists for the inspection and everything is done. So now it's just a matter of getting out of here. So movers are now coming on Friday, which is St. Patty's Day.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it is.
But I honestly feel good about the move because we've gotten a lot of stuff done prior to that. So a lot of it is them just moving big stuff. And then all the small stuff we can just get rid of. The great thing is if we move out on Friday, we have Saturday and Sunday to come back in the house, clean it up, get any additional things that we need to get done. So we're not kind of in any rush, which is good, as long as we get the big stuff cleared out, cleaned out, and then and that way the guys can just come in. But I mean, I've got 4 guys and 2 trucks coming, so it's probably not going to take as long as I think it is. I hope, at least. And so, because I just hate the whole moving process. But I think it'll be good. I think it should run pretty smooth. So yes, this week is officially the last week I'll be recording in this house, and it's going to be bittersweet, definitely. But I think it'll be really good.
Good.
So yeah, man. So we're getting situated over at the in-laws. We brought a bunch of stuff over. I installed some shelves for. Additional shelving for the closets for Lauren, really.
Oh my God.
Not for me, of course. Not for me. It's pretty much for Lauren and for Piper. So, man, I've just been an adult, and I hate it. And I am going through such withdrawal right now. I have not played a game a console game in 3 weeks now, and I'm just like
Wow.
a crackhead. I'm like, y'all got any console games I can play? Can I play some console games? Y'all got any games I can play? You got a controller?
Y'all got some games I can play.
Seriously, so it's crazy. But I think by the weekend and by next week, I should be settled in. And yeah, man, it's just a weird transition right now. But hey, let's get to Piper's topic of the week.
Oh yeah.
I've watched it about 1 million times, and I'm sure any parents with girls
Frozen
have too. Moana is out.
Oh, Moana.
Oh, yeah.
And
how was that?
We've watched. It's actually like this is I watched it 5 times in one day, and I'm still not sick of it.
Why?
You're welcome.
It's
5
really
times.
thank you, and thank you. It's really good. I
Yeah,
really
it's
like
good.
it. Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda did a lot of the music for it.
Lin-Manuel.
And Lin-Manuel. What did I say? Lin-Manuel?
I don't know.
Lin-Manuel.
I just like saying his name.
Miranda.
I think his name is awesome.
It is awesome. And he is awesome. He's so
I know
talented.
everything
and,
about that dude. Golly.
and the music reflects it, which is really great. So man, go pick it up. I know Amara will love it.
Mm-hmm.
Amara's
Absolutely.
really seen it. She went and saw it with my mom, her grandmother.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I wasn't there, so I just don't know how it went, how it goes.
Yeah, man.
Does The Rock do good and everything?
He does great.
Yeah, it goes well.
Of course. Yeah, he does really well. So, yeah, and he plays Maui, the demigod. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's his name, Maui.
Maui. So yeah,
Interesting.
it's really good. And like when we left the theater, I'm like, okay, it wasn't Frozen, it wasn't epic, but like as you watch it again, and this happened to me with Frozen too. I was like, man, this is actually a really good movie, and there's a lot of little subtleties to it, and it's good. It's a really good one, and I think the kiddos would love it.
Nice.
Plus, it's all like Polynesian beach themed, and so I just want to go to the beach now, which is amazing.
Or back to the Polynesian.
Or back to the Polynesian, either one. So anyway, the move will be happening this week, and then I will be in the in-laws' house, and I go see a Predators game next week, which will be fun. So that'll be
Oh, that's cool.
a nice refreshing break. And Piper's going and Lauren's going, so we're gonna have another great time. She had so much fun. Like we are following the Predators now. Like we're watching every game. And so I've got a hockey girl in my hands. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
she's
fun.
like, fight, knock his teeth out.
Yeah. No, she's like, uh-oh, fight's going. And then she's like, Daddy,
Banging on the glass.
Yeah.
Shooting the whole thing.
She's like, Daddy, are the
Get outta here,
Predators
you
on a
bum.
power play? I'm like, not yet, honey. But she's always asking when the Predators are playing. She's asking about Mike Fisher, who's the captain. And yeah, it's really cute. So we're having a good time.
That's awesome.
Man, that's pretty much it for me. No more root canals or anything like that. Oh, Piper does have strep throat though, so let's just
What
keep
the
adding.
heck?
What?
Yeah, we're just
Man.
gonna keep adding
that
stuff
about?
to the pile. It's just, man, it's just adulthood, and it sucks. This is how it goes. I mean, let's see. I installed more stuff this weekend in the closets. Piper has strep throat. I'm getting all the utilities to start switching things over. We register Piper for kindergarten today, which is crazy.
That's disgusting.
Wow.
So yeah, there is just zero fun in my life right now. But you guys are here,
Aw.
and our community is here, and so that's all.
That's true.
You mean our
That's all I
community's here? So
Community's
No,
here. There's that's awesome, and but man, and I think, and I apologize, I think we got the microphone situation figured out. Last week I was clicking and a snapping, and it was really weird, and
clicking
so hopefully
and snapping
snapping,
and popping
and
and clicking
and wishing and praying. So hopefully I'm not clicking this week, and if so, I'm just gonna go get a new mic. But
It was
so
actually
far-
you
so
just
far, so
being
good.
really overzealous and really wanting to get into the Switch vibe. You just kept doing it over and over.
Oh,
Yeah,
Snapping
yeah,
your
Tommy was
fingers.
talking. Mhm.
Like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, Switch guys, Switch.
Just to
Oh,
know it,
Switch,
Ed.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly. I got 99 problems, but a Switch ain't one. Come on now.
Oh,
There you go.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, you darn right I did. It's that early, and we're doing this, and I got to have some fun in my life, so let's do it.
that's funny.
That's it for me, guys. I'd love to hear about your week, and hopefully yours is better than mine.
Yeah, Chris.
All right, fellas. So
man.
last Saturday,
I always love when Chris takes a deep breath
know.
before his update. It's like he's getting ready to just
Unleash.
preach it. I love it. Yeah.
and here we go. Guess what? So Saturday was Mrs. Breadfan's birthday.
Hey,
Yes, it was.
Yay! So we had a bunch of fun there. Her parents came into town. They came in on Saturday and brought our little nieces along with us. They were going to show up. We were hoping a little bit earlier in the day because my nephew's birthday party was actually being held the same day, and we were going to try to take our nieces over there and go and meet up with my family and maybe do the bounce house stuff. But the timings just didn't kind of line up, so we ended up just hanging out over here at the house trying to go.
The bounce house stuff for Stacy's birthday? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I should have gotten her a bounce house, but I was like, "Are you sure you really don't want a bounce house? Because I can make this happen."
That's right.
I'm just a phone call away from a bounce house. But she's like, "No, I'm,
She said, not again this year.
Yeah, not this time.
That was special for last year.
Just give me a pony." No. But it was fun having her parents in town and hanging out with them. And then on Sunday, they had to leave about midday or so, but we got to spend a lot of good quality time with them and hanging out. And then last, I think it may have been, I'm going to have to back up a little bit. It may have been Thursday or Friday. I don't remember for sure in the timeline, but I have to have to announce this, that my old PlayStation 4 is no longer mine.
This is crazy.
It lives in the living room.
This is crazy.
And
it belongs to Stacy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Oh, yeah.
Look
so
at
awesome.
you.
She
You
has
have
a
a gamer
PSN
wife.
account. She has PlayStation Plus, and she's been playing almost every night, including last night. In fact, I went to bed, and I don't even know when she came to bed.
No.
Playing online, Don't Starve Alone with our friend Katie.
That's awesome.
You don't
Love
know
it.
when she came to bed?
I don't know. I didn't wake up. Yeah, it was 11:30, and she still wasn't in there. And somewhere between after that, I fell asleep. I don't know when.
That's
And-
amazing.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Congratulations. You have a gamer wife.
That's amazing that you go to bed that early, number one.
Well, I knew I had to get up. I have to get up at 4 an hour earlier when we podcast in the morning.
No,
so
that's right.
I usually go to bed a little bit earlier on
Clear out the cobwebs.
podcast nights. Yeah, podcast eve. But yeah, it's like the craziest thing. I've taken so many pictures of her. So as you might imagine, our couches are like kind of spread out and a little bit far from the TV, because when you're watching a TV show or a movie or sports,
Yeah, I need to be that close. Yeah.
it's not real important. But when you're, especially Don't Starve's got a lot of little menus and sub menus, and you got to look at these little icons and stuff. So she pulls up our little, we have a rocking chair that her dad built like years ago. She pulls up the little rocking chair, moves our little table up, and she just sits there and puts her little earbud in, joins the party, and just starts playing. Yeah. And
Wow.
she knows how to start the party now. She knows how to find one and jump in. She knows how to do the search in the world, because you've got to search for a server so that you all can play together. All this crazy stuff. It's a bit surreal.
You guys are so having a baby.
It really is. It's like I
It's
almost can't believe
amazing.
it's still happening. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
really, really cool, man.
I got
Way
that
to go,
friend request
Stacy.
from her on the PSN network, and I was like, all right.
I know, me too. I was like, and she know how to friend request a brother. Oh, snap.
I didn't get
Yeah.
a friend request.
I got
Yeah,
a
you
rock.
should have. I told her to send
I
one.
got a rock. Yeah.
You should have got one. I'd say double check.
No, it's all good, man. Because I can do it from the app now, so I'm sure I got it.
That's one thing I haven't done yet. I haven't even told her, like, hey, there's an app you can sign in on. I don't know if that's too
forget it.
far
She
for
was like,
her.
oh,
or
there's
what.
an app for that.
Yeah, I know.
Someone's going to E3 now.
Like, my friend
Yeah.
was about to be on point.
The crazy thing is that so I'm trying to help figure out like another game for her, not because she's not enjoying the one she is, because she loves it, but something that maybe she can play, when she's just by herself, or just play offline, or just anything, just trying to find out. And I've never really been able to find, it's like the games that she ends up gravitating towards are not necessarily the ones I would have thought she would have gravitated towards.
Yeah, like don't
And
starve.
so, yeah. And so yesterday I was kind of talking with her. We were going on a walk at lunch. And I was saying, so I'm trying to help you find these games. And what is it about the ones you're liking that you like and the ones you don't like? Because I've always been picking like cute games. Like one of the PlayStation Plus games this week this month is Tearaway Unfolded. Like I downloaded that and we started that up for her, and she didn't really take to it. And I've done other games that are like that, where the art style may be kind of cute, or it might have a cute little character or something. Just thinking that, and maybe not super heavy on the mechanics. That way she can ease into it.
Yeah, she's like, what you trying to do? I'm not a child.
I know, yeah. Well, it turns out the things she doesn't like about those other games, or hasn't liked so far, she doesn't want a story.
Interesting.
Really?
Wow.
She doesn't want to
Just
see a
wants a
story,
game.
hear a story. She's like, if there's a story, I'm just going to watch TV or a movie.
Oh, interesting.
It's like, I don't want a story. I just want to get into the game. And I'm like, oh,
That's an interesting
so that makes
perspective, yeah.
way more sense now. Now, looking at it through that lens, it makes total sense why she likes Overcooked and Don't Starve and Jackbox
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, that makes much more sense because they're not trying to tell her a narrative that she has to sit through.
You know, it's funny.
Right.
Jenny's the same way. I was trying to I'm constantly trying to get her to play. I need to bring some Texas water home, probably.
Yeah.
'Cause whatever Stacey's drinking.
Yeah, mix that in, man.
No, but she only likes versus games. Like somebody was like, "You've got to buy snipper clips for you and your wife." I was like, "Y'all don't get it. She wants to beat me at something.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily trying to work together on a common goal, unless it's a baby."
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? I totally would have thought she would be like enthralled with a cool like narrative or a cute little story because she likes animated movies like Disney and Pixar and whatnot. So why wouldn't she want to
Maybe
like
she
that
just
on the game if it's got a cute story? But
Yeah.
likes her entertainment divided out like that.
yeah, I guess when it comes to something story related, she definitely wants it to be more passive, where she's just consuming it, not having to do a thing. If she's gonna do a thing, she's like, I just want to do the thing.
Right.
I don't want to
Yeah.
watch something.
Yeah.
Would she
Told
like
something?
Would she like something like Inside?
I don't know. I could give her a shot at that. I think it's one of those things where it could come down. It's 50-50. She may really like it because, like you said, it's just, or like I've been saying, it's just a game and she's just getting right into it. But at the same time, I think the ambiance and the weirdness of it would kind of
Freak
weird her out.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe a little bit. But then again, I don't really know. It's a whole new world I'm discovering right now.
This
So-
is amazing that you
It's
kind of don't know
uncharted
your wife's
territory.
game style. So it's like,
I know
oh,
you the word.
it's right.
Consoles, joysticks.
And let's go with Resident Evil, shall we?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, now just put on this headset, Stacy. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll be
Let's-
just fine.
No story, just get in there, run from the man.
Right. So you have this see in the dark camera, and you got to shake it to get the batteries to work right. What was that game
Run low on
called?
batteries.
What
That was,
Oh,
Outlast.
Yeah, golly.
Chris, has she seen Overwatch? Like, I could see her probably getting into something like that.
She's not gonna play Overwatch.
She's seen it. She's not tried it. I'm gonna start pretty much every game like, hey, here, try this, see what you think. I don't see her getting into that one though, just because that uses every button on the controller.
Yeah. What
Right.
about
I
Rocket
don't-
League?
Oh my gosh, she would probably dig Rocket League.
Maybe.
You
Yeah, she
don't
might
think
like.
a little
I
too
hadn't even
Fast
thought
and
about like
Furious?
sports stuff. I don't think the speed is the issue. I think it just is more about like if she's having to be use a lot of dexterity on the controls.
Right.
I think that will be problematic.
I don't
for
know,
her.
man. Overcooked,
because-
man. She was freaking handling that one. That was a lot of twitch response and.
Yeah,
running
it's not so
around.
much the twitchiness; it's the twitchiness and putting in almost every single button on the controller. It's
Right.
like Overwatch was twitchy, but it only used like 2 or 3 controls. You know?
Yeah, man,
Besides
let's
the
do
sticks.
Rocket League. Let's do Rocket League for her. I think
I
she
can
would
do
love
that.
that. Because let her go through like the tutorials first, just to get. Because that honestly helped for me too.
Yes.
And man, I think it's gonna be awesome. It's not gonna be Rocket. It's not gonna be Rocket League. It's gonna be Runyon League. Let's do this.
Yes.
Runyon League.
That's actually a really good. I hadn't even thought yet about trying out sports games, so that's definitely something to give a shot. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give it
because
a
Rocket
go.
League's pretty simple to pick up.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it is.
And
Nice.
it's
Thanks for the
competitive. And it's
advice.
competitive. Yeah, and it's competitive. And oh yeah,
You're at a
come on now.
you're at a tender phase right now, Chris McCracken.
I know,
I know, man. The balance weighs on you,
I
brother.
know,
You
it's
need
like-
to.
it's like, you don't want to mess this up.
How
know.
many
Good
years
thing
have you guys
going.
been married, Chris?
7. Well,
That's
7
so awesome.
this year. In
That's
our anniversary,
amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. Still discovering stuff
She got
that's
that
new.
7-year itch for video games.
Yeah.
I
So,
like
like,
that.
7-year Twitch.
Yeah.
What's the 7-year married thing that you get? It's not like, is it like a stone or wood or paper, or what's the wedding
It's
thing?
a
'Cause
PlayStation game.
know,
this
right?
year it's a controller.
Plastic.
I didn't know there was
Plastic.
anything, but it's gonna be the year of gaming. That's for sure.
That's
For us,
right,
anyways.
amazing. Oh,
I'm
man.
so happy right now. That's amazing.
That is
Way
Thanks,
to go,
guys.
Stacy.
Yeah, way to go.
Welcome to the family, girl.
That's right.
So on the gaming front, I did get in a little bit of Overwatch. Obviously, as I said before, Stacey and I played together with our friends some Don't Starve alone outside of the time when she's playing just her because, I got to be fit in now. And then And then
Yeah.
I love
other
it.
than
I
that,
want
it's
it.
been nothing but been nothing but Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, brother.
Nice.
Yes.
Still loving it?
Have you beat
Yeah,
that
I
thing
am
yet?
still loving it. I haven't gotten to record quite as much as I wanted to, so I've been doing a bunch of the just run around collectible stuff off of the recording when I have a little, because I can do that when I have like, oh, I've got 20 minutes, I can go collect a couple things real quick and then have to shut it down. But I've definitely still been recording a lot. I have about 6 episodes in the can right now that I need to start uploading today. And my plan right now is to record at least another hour or so tonight.
Sweet.
I looked at it. I didn't realize that there was. I never really pay attention when you go into the statistics tab in games. I always forget there even is one, and so I stumbled across it, and I found that I'm about 50% of the way through.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So
Wow.
I thought I was actually maybe a little bit further, but the thing is that it's taking into consideration everything to do in the game.
That's what I was about to
So
say.
I think in the
Right.
story, I'm definitely further than halfway through, but game-wise in terms of completion, I'm only about 51% of the way. So I still got a lot to do and having a blast.
I've definitely beat a game only being like 65% of the way through.
Yeah.
What it said.
Yeah, one thing that their statistics did not have was how many hours played. At least I didn't see that anywhere. It also didn't say how many times I've died, or I didn't see that, which is I figured they would have had that.
That's so
stat
weird
in
that
there.
they should have some stat about how long you've played. You would think.
I didn't see it in the statistics menu, and I didn't see it inside of settings or anything like that. So it might be somewhere, and I just didn't find it because I stumbled across it right as I was shutting everything down last night. So I didn't poke around for too long. But the 2 screens that I went that had all the other stats that I was looking for, I didn't see it in those 2. So maybe it's there, and I just haven't found it. But
Dude, I'm so glad that game's living up to the thing.
it
I
is,
know,
man.
right?
I am
Yeah.
really, really enjoying it.
I'm really excited now. I just have to go buy it. But yeah, holy cow! I'm so glad that you're loving it.
Yeah, I can't. Anybody who's interested, and maybe if you're still on the fence, go watch a little bit of the gameplay just to see if it's for you. But if you like third person, if you like action, you like robots, and you like a bow and arrow, you're probably gonna like this game.
Yeah, Stacy.
Yes. So are you thinking like the whole rest of this month you're going to be all in and maybe half of next month, or do you think by April you'll be done with it?
Because of how much time we have left in this month, I could see myself being completed with it before this month is over, before April. But it's just going to kind of depend. Like well, actually, I guess I hadn't said this yet either. But this coming weekend, Stacy is going she's flying up to Seattle,
Oh,
and
snap.
she's gonna be there for 2 weeks and she's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
working there.
For work?
And Saturday she flies up there, and I'm gonna go up there with her.
What?
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna go up there with her, and I'm gonna stay there for a couple of days. I'm gonna fly home on Tuesday, and then just hold her
That's-
down here at
there
the
you
house
go.
until she
Great,
gets done with
man.
her trip.
Shoot, man. I mean, you gonna see our people.
That's a great idea.
I'm hitting some of our people up trying to make something happen. It's a big crazy time frame, so I'm like, look, if it doesn't work, I understand, but it'd be awesome if we could hang out.
Right. That's cool that you can go up there for a little bit, if not, since you can't go
Yeah,
the whole
man.
time.
Yeah, we've been to Seattle one other time, and it was kind of the same situation where she was up there working, but I went at the end of her trip, and we just added a few days to the end of it. This is a little bit different where I'm going up as she's getting there. But we really liked Seattle, and we didn't feel like we did, just barely scratch the surface of what all was to do and see in Seattle. So we're super excited to go back up there. We have a few friends there because obviously we have people that work at the same company up there, but there's people that used to work here in Dallas with us that moved up there and have been there a couple of years. So we're going to get to see a couple of them and hang out, and we're just going to see what kind of trouble we can get into.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's great, man. Yes.
I like it.
Do that.
Please
Yeah, it's
end up on
gonna
the
be
news.
awesome.
Please end up on the news somehow.
Well, I don't know about that part, but
You the one that said trouble. I'm just saying.
that's true. I did. But that is it
Nice.
for me, fellas.
Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
How's the snow, brother?
Oh yeah.
It's okay. It's just it's funny on our specific block where we got snow, but it's not as bad as we're seeing on the TV. So it's just you never know what's 2 blocks away from you or what have you.
Oh, wow.
So because of that, Sarah was actually supposed to be home yesterday, and because of the storm, she stopped about halfway. She was driving back home and got a hotel last night, and then we'll finish up. It's about a 5-hour drive today, so kind of let the storm pass and make sure that everything's cool and safe for her to get into town.
Yeah. So is
Yeah.
it is
So,
it that kind of thing where it's like the storm has passed you, or
Pretty much, yeah. Like all of the winter weather the winter storm warnings all lifted last night. So
Okay.
I think it's not.
And now it's
not,
the aftermath.
Now it's the aftermath. Yeah, it's the cleaning up and the shoveling and what have you. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Was it as bad as they thought it was going to be, or?
It just depends on where you were at. I was watching the news and looking outside of our window. It seemed to me to look like a regular snow, but some people were sending in photos of a crazy accumulation. So just depending on where you were at in the area, you got
more northeast. I think they got slammed.
Right.
Oh, okay, got you.
But it was funny. Sarah was staying in Jacksonville this week with her brother, who's a huge gamer. And I asked him, he's usually a big League of Legends guy. And he said he hopped out of it, kind of what you were saying, Gabe, because of the community. He was like, it's just such a sour community.
Really?
Oh,
Man.
wow.
And I said, what are you
That's a
playing
bummer.
now? Yeah, I was kind of, and he and his other brother, they've played it for years. So I was kind of surprised to hear that drove them away from it. So I asked what he's been playing, and he said Counter-Strike.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go play some Sea Strike.
I was
know,
like, that's
right.
still on?
I know. Golly. Yeah, man. Counter-Strike, one of them things that's just going to stay around forever, I guess.
Right. Let's see. In the meantime, this past week, I've again just been packing and just kind of doing the bachelor thing. I mentioned last week that I picked up Lego
Handing
Worlds.
out roses.
Handing out roses.
That's what the Bachelor does.
He's in the
awkward.
snow handing out roses to random women.
He's looking at Sniper Elite and say, "You get the rose."
Yeah, exactly.
Horse rides on the beach, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I
Yeah, of course.
choose you.
That's right.
You choo. So yeah, I got hooked on Lego Worlds this week, which really
Yes, you
surprised me.
did.
Wow.
I was
streamed
really
it, right?
blown away. I streamed it. Yeah, I streamed it for a couple hours and then
He couldn't talk,
Streamed
but he
it,
streamed it.
I couldn't talk. Yeah, I was so tongue tied. It was kind of funny. And then tried streaming a couple other times and just had a really bad connection, and so I just I didn't put those up on YouTube. But yeah, I said it in one of the streams where I went in thinking, oh man, this is going to be a Minecraft clone. I don't want to build. I'm horrible at building. And it
Even though
turned
it's a
out
Lego game.
I know exactly,
Right.
exactly. And it turned out, even though I've never played it, I think it's more of a No Man's Sky clone.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, if No
Wow.
Man's Sky would have been this good when it came out, I don't think people would have been as angry because
That's
it's
really
a lot of
cool.
fun. I've really been having a good time with it. Just kind
So
of
it's more
flying
exploration then?
yeah, you just you fly from planet to planet. You never know what planet it's going to be until you get there, and then
Really?
there are the people there want you to. Oh, I need this. Can you find me this? And sometimes it's on that planet. Sometimes it's on a different planet, and it's just a
bunch
lot
of fetch quests kind of stuff.
yeah,
Helping
exactly.
people out.
And you can build if you want, but it's never you have to build. So it's kind of cool that they let you have that option of you can just, and that's I think why I got so hooked on it is that you can just kind of get into it, not think, and just piddle around, and all of a sudden 4 hours have passed, and it's been
Wow.
really cool.
Wow.
So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So definitely, I've never played Minecraft. I've never played No Man's Sky, so I can't say for certain, but from what other people told me that were watching, they were like, "Oh, this is way better than Minecraft," just because of the little mini missions you get and what have you. And
And that's
there's
probably No
definitely
Man's
more
Sky
depth.
too. Because is there missions in No Man's Sky?
I don't know.
I don't remember
I
people
don't know if
talking
there
about
is.
that.
I just thought you just kind of flew around and looked around, and
That's what I
Yeah.
thought too. Yeah, and laughed and was disappointed.
exactly, and then
And
tweeted
cried a
about it.
little.
And let's see. Then a couple of days ago, I finished Sniper Elite 4.
Mm.
Yes.
And man, it's funny because
Did you platinum it?
no, I did not. No.
You probably should.
Well, I
Go
played on
for
the
it.
Xbox, and it's just
Oh,
yeah, I'm
never
not-
mind. Yep.
Yeah,
He
I'm-
1K'd it. You should
I
1K
know,
it.
right?
That's what
1K
they
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the animation on that game, I had just played Sniper Elite 3 like the week before I got it to kind of refresh myself. The animation hasn't improved a lick.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
it's
Really?
They just
but-
reskinned
Really?
it, huh?
exactly. And I'm like, that's how good this game is that I don't even care.
Yeah,
Like,
you're fine
I'm
with
just
it,
having
right?
so
Wow.
much fun. And then they released one DLC content where you have to shoot Hitler, and that was awesome. So yeah,
He
it was a
deserves
good
to be
time.
shot.
He deserves to be
hasn't,
shot.
hasn't there been a mission like that in every Sniper Elite? Something like that?
think there was one like that in 3. 3's the only other one I played, and I think they had
Gotcha.
a similar mission.
Could you imagine
Cool.
being such a bad dude? Nobody is ever on that guy's side, ever.
I know, right?
It's like, shoot that dude, yeah. Nobody's like,
Seriously.
come on, guys, he's misunderstood.
Right.
Like, nah, that was a bad dude there.
I know,
No, he's just
exactly.
bad.
I mentioned last week that traded in the our Xbox for the One S, and this week sold the Xbox One on Craigslist.
There you go.
Nice.
And
How'd that
a
go?
couple days, it went really well, really smoothly. Lady and
Did you go
and,
whitewater rafting with him?
I did not. No,
Hey,
that's
he's
next
still
time.
here. That's a plus. So he's not in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Some lady, she said, "Oh, I'm bringing my son. He's paying for it with his own money or whatever." He was like 10 years old, and they're a cute little family and stuff.
Nice.
And it was a couple days later, I was like, I think Watch Dogs 2 was in there.
Oh, no.
And so-
Oh no.
Oh, man.
So I texted her right away and was like, "Hey, just a heads up. I think I left a game in there. You don't have to bring it back. I finished it, but it is
It's not
rated
10
M."
It's not for 10-year-olds, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rated M. So if you hear swearing from his room, it's not him, it's the game. And
That's awesome.
and about and then I went to play Sniper Elite 4, and it was in the Sniper Elite 4 case, and I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Oh, wow.
okay.
Phew.
So now if you hear swearing in his room, it is his
him.
fault.
Yeah, that
You
is.
should
It would be
be.
him.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
That's very responsible of you, Ed. Good
Thank
job.
you. Thank you.
That's
So
really
that's pretty much it. Sarah's supposed to get home today, this afternoon, and
Yay.
that's what's going on.
funny. I like
Good
that.
deal.
I like it
Yeah.
a lot. Has everybody gone?
Like a lot. Yeah, man, it's up.
Yeah, you're up,
to
brother.
the plate.
It's up to you now. Bring it home.
Yeah. So you remember that bundle that I bought for $1?
Yeah,
Yes.
Of that-
Yes.
what was it, 28 games or 40-some games?
yeah.
60 some odd games. Yeah.
60 games don't worth $40.
You remember how I was like, well, if you find one game on here, then it's worth the
Yeah.
$1.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I haven't found not one game.
Nobody
there
saw
yet.
that coming.
No. How could you?
Well, you know what's crazy? Like the App Store has spoiled me for how good a game worth $1 should be.
Sure.
Because these games are awful.
That's
mean-
great.
So bad. And you're like,
Oh, that's
how
funny.
is a game this bad?
These are the games we need you to stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I know,
not
right?
Seriously.
I'm not even downloading these games.
Oh, come on, man. Do
Gabe
it.
reacts
No
to
way.
Gabe reacts
manhole
to.
covers.
Yeah. Gabe reacts to poop in a bag. And so
It's stinky.
I love that game.
it is so like I was going through the games and I was like, all right, I'm not going to download all these games. So how am I going to figure out about them? I was like, well, I can get on the old YouTubes and just go to all the gameplay footage of, all these
Right.
games.
Mm-hmm.
And dang it, if all these games don't suck.
Wow.
How many games was it?
Huh?
How many games was it?
I think it's like 46 games or something crazy.
That's why.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you're expecting, like I was saying,
No, you're not.
I'm expecting like 3% of them to be fun and enjoyable. There's one game on there called Neon Hard Corpse.
There's your first
Okay.
clue.
Spelled
Ne-
HARDCORPS, like the
Yeah.
Marine
Oh,
Corps,
Right.
hardcores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that looks kind of fun.
Okay.
All that there's like 5 different games surrounded, with a pug as the main character, and those all
Oh,
look terrible.
Sweet.
But like there's the App Store has done so much, and you get so much for $1 there
Yeah.
that in my brain I'm thinking, oh man, that's probably the same thing going on here. No.
No.
No,
So
No, man.
Steam and the games that are in there for $1, it just is not equal.
It's like a whole bunch of independents got together and be like, "Hey, let's make this as horrible as
You
possible."
want to make a bundle?
Yeah.
Nobody's buying your game, right?
Right.
Nobody's buying my game. Bet you they buy it if we put it in a bundle.
And let's get 48 of our friends to do this too.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dude.
that's insane. Yeah.
So if your
Oh,
game was a
dude.
part of that bundle, Come on, man.
Sorry. Work harder.
No, sorry,
Yes.
not sorry. Care
Try
about
harder.
Sorry, not sorry. Bye, Felicia.
it. Bye, Felicia. So, I was really disappointed with that for some strange reason. I was mad that I was wasting time even looking the games up.
What? Here's the
If you're
thing. Why
that mad-
did you look them up before you bought it?
Because I was like, it's $1. There's got to be
Right.
one in here.
No, he's a sucker for a
Like,
deal.
I
That's
might
why.
find one that I accidentally like.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
One's got to be Goat Simulator.
Or not.
I was wrong about that.
Yeah, you were.
The graphics are bad. It just looks like, it definitely looked like a bunch of kids got together and just wanted to make a video game.
So it was
Yeah,
barely
that's-
Game Simulator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I had more fun with game dev story.
You had more fun with stare at it in the box.
But yeah.
Yeah, anticipation is funner than a lot of these games. Jeez Louise.
No, that stinks.
Yeah, it does stink. I got to kick it with the lighties this last
Oh,
week.
Yay!
And
All right.
met Matt's daughter Abigail for the first time,
Oh, cool.
which
That's awesome.
I was really nervous about, if I'm being completely honest.
Why is that?
Really?
Yeah, why?
Because she's 13, and I don't
Okay.
know if I've
Judgment.
been around a
She'll judge
13-year-old in a long time, and I
No,
didn't know
man.
how that was going to go.
Come on. You know the ladies got it locked down.
What?
I don't know, man. I'm weird around teenagers. I get all sweaty and nervous, and
Do you not look in the audience at your concerts?
yeah,
I know.
those crowds got a little older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's true.
And
Nah, the ladies,
that's a one-way
they're good
conversation.
parents, man.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll take care of it.
I know,
They'll
but it's
take
not
care of
about
her.
the parenting.
No-
You know,
well,
there's a-
it's got to be at some point.
There's plenty of buttholes out there that's got great parents.
Yeah, that's true.
And
What's up, Stancil?
no, Stansel's got great kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about him and his parents. He being the no. I was giving Stancil a hard time, not his kids.
Fired. Shots
Oh my
fired. Wow.
Yes.
That's just a
Man.
test to see if he listens to the podcast.
Just a test.
Yeah.
Nobody tell him.
Exactly.
Well, Ed's getting a horse head in his bed tonight.
Yeah.
Wake up to a bunch of neon writing on my wall.
Exactly.
That's right.
Freaking Fetch.
Uh,
Fetch gonna pay you a visit.
that's right.
And so that was fun. It was good seeing them. I didn't get to see them for very long, but I did get to see them. And
That's
so
awesome.
it was good to hang out. We ran around
Yeah,
a
they're
little
good.
bit.
They are good people.
They are
Mhm.
good people, man.
Yeah, they
And
are.
so Abigail was awesome. It was good to meet her, good to hang out. I was still nervous, but it went good.
See, but
That's
you had nothing to
hilarious.
worry about.
Yes. I don't know if I didn't have anything to worry about, but teenagers just don't know. These jokers, man. Oh, teenagers.
It's not like you had to babysit her, though. That, you know,
I know.
Well, yeah. Do you babysit teenagers? Teenagers get
No,
babysat?
I'm just saying, it's not like they were going to drop you guys off and be like, okay, you two have fun. Like,
No, right?
Right.
Gabe, can you show her a good time? We gotta
don't get
go.
into the paint.
We got
Yeah.
we have date. We got date night. You take her.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awful. That's like my worst nightmare. Oh my gosh. And then I'm noticing I'm not usually this guy, but I'm noticing my backlog is getting a little ridiculous,
mhm.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
do not like it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm behind the 8-ball, baby.
I am. I'm right there with you, man.
Like
What's keeping you behind the 8-ball?
well,
Zelda?
yeah, Zelda, man.
Yeah, are you liking it now?
That's all. I'm still at where I was last week.
Okay.
You're in the you're still in the
playing the
courting
game?
phase.
You're still
the
trying,
courtship
though.
phase.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still courting each other, still feeling it out.
Yep.
Good, good.
I bought Zelda a CD that I liked, and she liked it too.
Okay. Good.
So I'm still like there hasn't been that. I'm trying to recognize if I like playing the Switch and that's why I want to play it, or if I like playing Zelda and that's why I want to play it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have both of
because-
those hurdles to
Yeah,
cross.
because
Yeah.
the Switch is new, and so you want to play with the new thing you got,
Yeah.
and it's handheld, so that makes it a lot easier to do while the wife's wanting to watch, freaking Kardashians or something crazy.
Oh Lord, yes.
And so that's what I'm not recognizing about myself yet. Like, is my hunger to play the Switch Zelda, or is my hunger to play the Switch the Switch? So
have the rest of
That's
the boys
interesting.
on the tour asked about it?
no,
Have you been playing with them at all?
No.
Now that you unlocked those other 1-2 Switch games, how did those go?
Yeah, we didn't end up playing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's not, nobody's waiting on it. You know what I'm saying? I
Interesting.
have to bring it up.
Interesting.
So, and I'm not trying to carry that dock around. So I don't know if that makes it
Yeah.
less impressive that it's not on the TV.
Oh, right.
It just seems like something else to get broke and to carry around. I already got my PlayStation out there, and they want me to bring like the Gear VR out. And I'm like, dang, y'all, what do I look like?
You're gonna have like a whole multimedia center.
Right.
Right.
GabeStop.
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 Like that. Look at you. GabeStop. I love it.
So I noticed that like I went and bought Quantum Break.
Ooh.
I bought
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I got Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
And then freaking Mass Effect coming out next week.
Yep.
Oh snap! That's right.
I'm like,
it is next week.
oh no! Like I'm about to be way
Ooh-wee.
behind, and I'm not the guy that
Yeah.
can. And I still playing Final Fantasy 15,
Yeah.
and so it's like,
Oh.
dang it! I feel
Do you
like
think
man,
you'll
I'm-
finish Zelda?
No. Once Mass Effect
I
comes out,
think I'll have to.
no, you don't.
No, you don't.
What?
Once Mass
If
Effect
you ain't
comes
liking
out,
it,
you can.
get rid of
You're
it.
gonna switch
man.
up to that, man.
It's not about not liking it. It's about like it starts
The
to become like
anticipation.
time invested. So it's
Yeah.
like if you pour in so much time, I feel like I might as well see it through instead of just jump ship. Only because it's like there was a time in my life where I did that a lot and I didn't like it. Where I played a game like 70% of the way through and then quit, and then pick up the next game that came out, play it 70% of the way through, and then quit it, and then play the next game 70%.
Yeah, but if you're enjoying it, absolutely continue on. But if you're not enjoying it, I don't
Yeah,
care if I've
don't-
got 82 hours in. I'm done. I just walk
Yeah.
away.
No, I
Don't
understand
force
that
it.
point. No, I understand that, but it's not that I'm not enjoying it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. If you're having
But it's
fun
not
with
that
it,
I'm head
continue
over
on.
heels for it either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So this next week you need to keep playing it, and I think by then you'll be several hours in,
Yes.
and you'll be able to know whether or not you like
Yes.
it. And
Right.
if you don't, time to move on.
And there
If
might
you had Zelda on the PS4, would you want to still play it?
that's tough, man.
That might be your answer.
It's
There's
tough
your
because
answer.
of like the Horizon and all these other things that are coming out.
It
Here's
might be
the
the newness of the Switch rather than the game itself that you're liking.
Well, and here's the other thing that kind of sucks. I haven't gotten to sit down and just like pour 2 hours into it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's been like,
It's been little clips.
yes. And here's the magic of the Switch is you can do that.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
that's a little
That is
weird
cool.
instead of like the PlayStation and hogging up a TV for like 15 minutes and then put it down and then pick it back up 30 minutes and then put it down, then pick it up another 15 minutes. That would be really annoying. But the fact that I can like play on the bus while everybody's talking, put it down, or like everybody just took a nap and I know I need to do some laundry, but I'll just play some Zelda real quick. And then, I'll take it to the dressing room because we're waiting for us to go on and Mandisa is on stage, so I'm gonna just play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got that option with the other stuff.
Yes.
But are you spending the most of your time, like when you get in your bunk? Are you able to play like longer periods of time? Because it sounds like what's happening is you're breaking it up too much.
Yes.
And so it's just like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to
I
I got to
agree.
remember
Yeah,
to
it
do
does
this.
sound
The
like
problem
that.
is though,
Versus-
like the hang on the road is so good that I'm not getting to my bunk until 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm
there
trying to
you
play
go.
some Zelda and listen to some comedy and
that's
I'm just
fine.
falling asleep.
That's a good problem, though, man.
But yeah, that's a
That's
great
awesome.
problem.
Yeah.
And if the hang is good, then stick with that.
I know. So we got a long drive up to Albany
Oh yeah, you do.
later today. So
Wow. And you're in
And that
Nashville now?
show's still
We're
and the
in
show's
Nashville.
still happening.
yeah.
Is
Is it
didn't
that
didn't
bad up
Albany
there?
get nailed?
I don't know. I'm not up there yet.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we'll leave for there tonight at 8 and then get there at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see. That'd be funny if we get up there and they cancel the show. Be like, well, glad
Right.
we took this freaking long drive up here.
Yeah.
It's Gabe's quest for Zelda drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that I might just go to the bunk and be like, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. But at the same time, man, some kind of conversation will pop off and I'll be like, I know, but you don't understand. And so,
that's good though, man.
Myself.
You need that. I think this week is going to be the deciding factor, because then what's going to happen is next week Mass Effect comes out, and everybody's going to be talking about that, and then you're going to have that itch. Because I'm with you, man. My backlog is ridiculous right now. I still have to play Watch Dogs 2, finish Battlefield 1. I've got Mafia 3. I've got all these heavy hitters, and on top of it, Mass Effect's coming out, and I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. So, man, I'm right there with you. But you know what?
Struggle is real.
It's all good. Like, we'll be able to do it. By the end of the year, you'll have it all taken care of, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I will agree. You probably need, especially because you were talking about how, the controls are a little wonky, trying to get your head wrapped around them. You can't really do that in 20, 30-minute spurts.
You really
in
can.
little segments. No, you need like a long 2-hour segment.
I definitely keep throwing my sword when I'm meaning to block with my shield. And when you throw your sword, it destroys it. You're like, oh, no, I like that sword.
That's awesome.
So,
take that.
Yeah, exactly. I freaking throw it into the grass. I'm like, no, I'm meant to bring up the map.
I love that breaks your sword.
Darn you, big hands.
Exactly. So that's what's going on over here. My wife has been holding it down, man, with these 3 children while I've been gone.
Yes.
Well done, Jenny.
Yes, well done.
She's the real star.
She really is. You the MVP. You the real MVP. So yeah, headed up to Albany and Virginia, and then New York.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Nice.
And then coming back for spring break. So it'll be nice to have some time off. And that is it for me, I think. Yes.
Beautiful.
Nice, man.
Oh yeah. Router, you got it?
I do believe.
Well, let's do it.
This is going to be really quick. We do not have NPD yet for February. All the reports have to be in. They had to be in yesterday, but it takes probably later on today for them to actually be posted. So we're going to have to wait until next week for NPD for February, which will be fun though. But new releases this week, not a ton to speak of. Danganronpa 1-2 Reload for the PS4.
Dragon Romper,
as you would say. Death Squared for Xbox One, PC, and PS4, cooperative puzzle game from SMG Studio, and Kona for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That's pretty much it. Because
I've not heard any of those except Dragon Romper.
Dragon Romper. So yeah, it'll be interesting because next week will be Mass Effect. I'm getting very excited for this game, so it's going to be good, I think. We did have one mini oops at that Chalfie. Can I call MTTG oops on Tiger Claw's mic, cracking like a bag of chicharrones, pork rinds? Yes, man, you can call that. I apologize for that. I have no idea what's going on. I pray that this week is better. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. So
yeah,
we'll
that was
see.
strange, wasn't it?
It was very odd.
There's going to be people all over the place thinking they bust their speakers. Like, oh, man, my speakers are cracking.
I know, right?
I know. No, it's just router. Don't mind me. That's it. Back to you guys.
Nice. Chris McCracken.
Okay, so it looks like we have official numbers for the Nintendo Switch in its first week of sales worldwide, and it is sold through to customers, not to retailers, 1.5 million units.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
That comes
solid.
out to about 500,000 in the US, 360 in Japan, 85,000 in the UK, and 110,000 in France.
Oh, there you go.
And then 1.3 million worth of sales for Zelda was on the Switch. 1.3 million.
Wow.
Wait, so the Switch console sold 1.5 and Zelda sold 1.3?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which means that 95% of the people who bought the Switch bought Zelda at the same time.
Yeah.
You realize though there were only 2 games available.
Right.
And 0.3 million people bought 1-2 Switch.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it have been
That's right.
crazy if it said 1.6 bought snipper clips? We don't even know how, because that's more than half the Switch.
That is crazy. I wouldn't have thought that many people bought Zelda.
Yeah, I know.
It's doing itself well. I
Yeah,
think we all pretty much expected it to do well, because there definitely was, especially from the Nintendo base, a big fervor for this game, for this system. So we'll just have to see if it continues going on. I hope it does. It looks like it will, because I mean, you got to think there's already people out there scrounging and searching and trying to get their hands on one. So I'm sure it's going to do good the next week as well.
That is crazy.
I know, right?
Wow.
But then sales numbers just kind of fall off just because it's unavailable, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's not
it's
going to
true.
happen with Nintendo. They don't do that.
No. Why would they do that?
As people are still looking for that mini NES.
Honestly, though, that is such a killer to not have inventory like that, because I mean, after first week, you want to keep that momentum going, and if they don't have it in stores, that's a problem. Then people are going to forget about it. So I mean, 500,000 in the
Nintendo.
U.S. Well, yeah, but 500,000 in the U.S. isn't. I mean, that sounds like that's just your Nintendo core fans. I would think it would.
But that was all
it
of
would
them.
be a lot more. Well, yeah, that's true. That's all of them. So
That's all the
They're
Switches
done.
they gave us.
That's all that. That's That's
Yeah,
true.
their Nintendo has come out and said that their goal was to ship at least 2 million consoles by the 31st of March. So they're well on their way to that, as long as they have inventory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the you
Interesting.
said 2 million in the U.S. or 2 million worldwide?
Worldwide.
Oh yeah, they'll
believe.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Staying on the Switch just to do that. They've been working on some modders. I love this. Have been breaking down that dock. Like I was just saying, I don't like taking that dock around. Number one, the dock
Yes.
is flimsy feeling. Number two, it's been scratching the front and the back of people's Switches. And and everybody's figuring out as they're taking it apart that all the guts are in the bottom right-hand corner. And so some modders been taking that out and putting that in their own little cases and then just connecting the Switch to that. And they're like, yep, works just fine.
I love people.
I know.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
So
So-
just it took them a week to be like, I'll fix this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Good
I got
try.
this.
Good try, Nintendo.
Right.
And so
Nintendo.
I don't know what the guy's name is on Reddit, but I think it's Jolimon. I don't remember. Anyway, he did one, and it just looks freaking slick. And
That's cool.
And it's all it's like one side's cut out of mirrored glass, and he's got the logo on there. It looks 3D printed. It looks awesome. Anyway, he did it, and so it's literally half the size, and he just sits it under his the Switch and just plugs it in, and on the go. It's literally
awesome.
the size of a cell phone. It's thicker than that,
Wow.
but as far as being able to hold it in your hand.
Mhm.
And so I mean,
And doesn't Nintendo sell? You can buy those bases. I think you can buy another one. If you want to have multiple to put on different TVs throughout the house. I think they're $90 or $100.
it's funny.
And
I
that's-
haven't seen the docks for sale. As I've been wandering around, I haven't seen them, but I'm sure that they will do that at some point.
Mhm.
That
Um,
seems pretty expensive for just a little bitty thing that's over in the right corner. Hey, here's the little bitty amount of guts.
Right. And this thing,
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that's special about it is that it converts that USB-C
USB-C
to power
to-
and HDMI.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying though. But as soon as a third party does this, and I think he's taking orders, I thought I
Wow.
saw on one of his
Oh,
things, he
wow.
was like, hey, I'm trying to keep this thing under 35, around $35. And you're like, $35?
Yeah,
But
he
I don't
it does
know.
not work for Nintendo.
Right. But I think he's just selling the case so far. So I
Oh,
think
right.
you would have to empty out the guts yourself.
Mm,
But as soon as a third party does this, I'm doing that.
really? Yeah.
I think. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Instead of putting it in and out of the thing, I don't know. I put a screen protector on mine, so I'm not worried about it scratching.
Hmm.
But people crazy about that.
does it cover the entire screen or just like even the bezel as well? The whole front of it,
Does
essentially?
what?
The screen protector that you got.
Yes, it does the bezel and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It covers everything that's not the controllers, pretty much. Everything is covered in that plastic.
Interesting.
Yeah, Doc. Give us something else, brother.
So Overwatch, a lot of the different characters have these little comics that they have.
So jealous that
They
I'm
kind
not
of
playing
tell-
Overwatch right now.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Golly, this pains me deep down on my insides.
Yeah, you got to get in there, man. It's a fun game. We miss playing with you. It
I know,
feels like
right?
it's been forever since you played with a bunch of us.
I know, it's been since the beginning of February.
Oh my gosh, it has been forever. Jeez.
That's some bull
I try to
crap.
put it out of my memory. You're like, oh, that's a long time ago.
He's coming to town. It'll be fine. He's coming to town.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, there are comics for a handful of different characters, and one of them, there's a comic called A Better World, and it features Symetra. And the comic books kind of give little tidbits of backstory and things and to help you learn a little bit more about characters, because as we all know, Overwatch doesn't really have a story mode or anything into the game,
Right.
but it does have a lot of lore written around the world and different things, so you have to find it in different ways. Well, based on that comic, when you read it, a lot of people in the Overwatch community have kind of came to the conclusion that they think Symetra is an autistic character. And this week,
Yeah,
Jeff
that was
Kaplan,
really interesting.
Jeff
I
Kaplan
think
wrote
it's
a letter
great.
to somebody that had wrote into him, and he wrote them back and said, and basically in this letter confirmed that
That's great.
Symetra is autistic.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's
and it was
really
just,
cool,
it's
man.
really cool that they have all these little bits and one, it's just impressive the amount of lore that's tied to these games. And it's cool when it all starts to just kind of come out in all these different ways and you put these puzzle pieces together, because they've got a lot of really good stuff here. And then the fact that they keep doing things, not only like as the amount of characters and the nationalities and everything of all the characters is very diverse, but just the way they are, like we've got autistic people, we've got all these different things that we're finding out more and more. It's just like, man, this is a very inclusive, diverse
Yeah.
game and
Yeah.
world.
Gay folks.
And it's really
And-
cool.
and obviously very well thought out for each character,
Right.
which I
Yes.
think is really great. They've taken their time to really mold each of the characters that they have. That's really
That was
cool.
just cool to see people in our community respond who have autistic kids and just,
Yes.
giving props to Blizzard
Yeah.
saying, that's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome to see.
It's awesome.
I do love that. Gosh, I love that game. Jeez Louise.
I know.
PlayStation Now is finally stepping up their game and going to be including PS4 games finally,
Ooh.
which is a big deal because I feel like that was the promise early on for PlayStation Now was play your PlayStation stuff anywhere, play all your PlayStation stuff. And so, it's been PS3 for a long time, and I think they had did they have some Vita games on there? No, right?
No.
So it's a bunch of 400 and something PS3 games. And now they're going to start adding PS4 games that you can stream on your PS4 or your PC, which I totally forgot that PlayStation Now was on PC, which kind of makes me want to get it. But it's still just a little pricey, I think. $20 a month or $45 for 3 months.
All right.
And so, I think the PS4 thing was they probably had it in the works, but it just so happens that they bring out this news right after Microsoft announces Xbox Game Pass, which we talked about last week. So, which, obviously is different because the PlayStation Now is only streaming, where the Game Pass was downloading onto your console. Was that right?
Yes.
So anyway, I think it would be really cool to see the PS4 games make their way to PlayStation Now, and hopefully people are even using PlayStation Now.
So, the thing is that, I mean, yes, it's cool to have the option. Obviously, for people who are playing like on PC, if you will, it's absolutely a good thing for them, because if you're wanting to play on your PC, that's the only way you're going to play a lot of these PlayStation games,
Right.
like the ones that are exclusives, if you will. So I understand it there. But on the PlayStation side, because in the console world now, it pretty much, or it's by August, it's only going to be playable on the PlayStation 4, not on PS3, not on Vita, not in these other places. To me, especially the way that Xbox came out with the whole Game Pass thing, that doesn't make any sense, because if I'm playing on my PS4, I don't want to stream the game. Just let me download the game. I mean,
Right.
and I understand the systems are different, and now it's a streaming model. I get that, but it's like, well, if you're going to go and like make it to where now you can play PlayStation 4 games,
Yep.
you should just make it to where like, hey, because of your subscription, you're now tied. Now these games on the store are available for you to download. Because the way that PlayStation Now works is what you're doing is you're connecting to a PS3 through the network over on their servers, essentially. Like whenever you do PlayStation Now and then you hit like the menu button or whatever, you bring up a PS3 interface because all you're doing is virtually connecting to a PS3 somewhere and playing the game. Yeah, that's what, well, it could be an emulation, but what I'm saying is it's all going through a PlayStation 3. That's how they got it to work. So when it comes to PS4 games, so am I now just digitally connecting to another PlayStation 4? If I'm doing that, just let me download the game. It's going to be smoother. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be faster.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have they tightened up the latency and everything on
I haven't
reactivity?
played it. I haven't played it in a long time.
But
I
that
have
would be
played
a
it before
huge
and it was
factor.
fine. But the thing is that regardless of how good your bandwidth is, it may be good enough to play the game, but it's never going to be as good as having it locally. And again, if the way that they're doing it is I'm just virtually connecting to a PlayStation 4 somewhere else, it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Let's just cut out the middleman and let me download the game.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense for PlayStation 4 players. People on PC that have no other way to play that game, it absolutely makes sense. Or at the very least, it gives them an option.
You know what, too, though? I like it for, and of course, I see everything through this lens, so forgive me. But as from a traveler standpoint, the cloud saves that you'll be able to cloud save so you can play on your PS4 and then go on the road and play on your laptop and still have that same save, which is kind of nice. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like the flexibility of it, but it's not. It needs to be flexible in the sense that if it is indeed a PlayStation 4 game and I'm on my PS4, just let me download it from the store or something. Find some way to make it work similar to Xbox Game Pass and just let your trump card be like, oh, yeah, you can download the console too, but if you're on the road, we can let you stream it. Like, let that be your positive rather than, as of right now, to me, it seems like a negative. It seems like, well, yeah, I can stream it, but I'm at home on my PS4. Why can't I just download it? Xbox is going to let me do that. Why can't you? And I know that the models are different. I understand like why they don't want to go that route, but it doesn't feel like a positive to me. The PlayStation 4 games are on there now, unless I was a PC player or someone like you who travels a bunch and is remote a lot of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Personally.
I kind of agree with you. I think the thing that's probably given them the biggest hiccup is wanting to be available on PC. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't install on a PC. I mean, that junk will be pirated so quick.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It just feels like that they could somehow tie your subscription, just like PS Plus. Tie it to where it's part of your account and it links to the store. And so it knows when you go into the store or something, oh, we see that you're a PlayStation Now subscriber. Here's the catalog, or it opens up a little tab like, here's the tab to you, PlayStation Now person. These ones you can download, or if you're remote, you can stream it.
Yeah.
It's like, let me do either or.
Yeah.
Because right now it feels very much like Xbox came out with the Game Pass, PlayStation 4 saying, hey, yeah, me too, but not really.
Right.
Even though
That's
I think
what it
they probably
feels
were
like to
working
me.
on this before Xbox announced
Oh
Game
yeah,
Pass.
they absolutely were. I mean, they were. It's just a matter of timing. I mean, companies, especially corporations, they don't turn on a dime. And anytime they come out with anything, it's not like they just huddled real quick and then made it happen. No, it's been in the works for a while.
Right.
But it feels like it could be better. I don't think the streaming thing has really worked out super well for them, and not completely to their fault. It's really mainly because so much of the country still does not have access to really good internet.
Yeah.
And that's really the biggest issue about it.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate. But
And I think that they'll, I don't think they'll change their model, but even
I don't
Netflix
either.
is doing download movies now. You know what I'm saying? Which is
for
really,
offline stuff.
Yeah, for offline viewing. So, I don't know. That's very interesting, though. What else you got, Christopher?
The Project Scorpio actually has a product page now on the Microsoft Store. You can't actually buy anything. All you can do is get notified whenever it's available. It currently says Holiday 2017, and it has 3 bullets. It says most powerful console with 6 teraflops of graphical processing power. The first and only console to enable true 4K gaming and high fidelity virtual reality. And compatible with all Xbox One games and accessories. I just thought that was kind of funny that they actually went to the trouble to, which I guess is not a lot of trouble, but to put up a product page when it really doesn't give any more information or do anything else other than what we all already know.
They had to
But
do
it's
that.
there.
They pretty much had to do that for retailers, because retailers need to have something in the books and have some sort of page to go to. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that was more for a retail thing than a consumer thing.
But as far as I can tell right now, it's only on Microsoft's store. So how does that help other retailers? Or does it? I don't know.
He's saying it might give them bullet points for when they want to put stuff up on their website.
Well, yeah, I see
in
that.
their catalogs and their whatever. Like retailers need something about it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
that
guys?
just means it's getting closer.
Yeah. Are you guys? Like, what are y'all? I know it's early and we don't really know pretty much anything yet. We'll find out way more at this year's E3, I would assume. But
Yeah.
Scorpio on any of you guys' radar? Not necessarily meaning you're going to purchase this winter, but like anybody excited about it? Anybody?
I'm curious
any
about
thoughts?
the pricing, because if the pricing's at a decent price, I think it'll be
What's
more popular.
decent for you?
Like 350?
Less than 450, definitely. I don't know though, man. I have not touched the Xbox One, so I'm pretty much out. Like I wasn't planning on getting anything at all.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
just keeping with my Xbox One. I mean,
I've gotten no interest.
Yeah.
yeah, you just got the S.
I know. I mean, even before that, I didn't really have any interest in.
I would take the S over Scorpio. That's for sure. For now,
Why is
right
that?
now,
Yeah, why is that?
And
because it's cheaper.
yeah, and it depends on what it looks like. Is that thing gonna be huge?
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Huge.
I'm super interested. Like this E3 on the Xbox side, anyways. This is all I care about.
Yeah,
I want to
really?
know about Scorpio. I want to know what's going to cost. I want to know what it looks like. I want to know what its actual name is. I want to know anything and everything you can tell me. That's not to say that come holiday 2017, I'm going to be buying the thing, but I like
You just
new
want to
tech.
know more.
So I just want to
I'm
know.
with
You just got to be another best man in a wedding.
Yeah, I know. I got to find somebody else to be like, hey,
That's all.
man, I'll be your best man. Oh, by the
That's
way,
right.
that gift.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hold off.
So it turns out that people buy people consoles for being best men.
You didn't
just
know
throwing
that?
it out
Oh, yeah,
there.
it happens.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing for sure.
But I'm really interested in finding out what it is. But I am even though I really am interested in it, and because like I said, it's new tech, and I just get excited about that kinds of stuff. In terms of will I get it, I'm kind of in the same boat, man. I just don't touch my Xbox One very
I know,
often,
right?
And the problem is for me is like this is the second time that I've been down this road with Xbox because I had a 360. I had it for about a year and a half or whatever. And
Yeah.
outside of playing COD a little bit with the friends I had over there, I didn't touch the thing. And I don't know what that is because there's stuff about it that
it's
excites
your
me.
preference. No, it's your preference.
The 360 though was from an online standpoint. I think the 360 excelled in a lot of things that the PS3 didn't.
Oh yeah, it
And-
absolutely did.
But here's the problem: this generation that I think Microsoft is having, and I might get oops for this, or maybe it's just 'cause I don't play the Xbox enough. But it just seemed like Sony be killing them on them exclusives, though.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the
Oh, they
exclusives
absolutely
on the
are.
PlayStation
Yeah,
side
currently.
seem way better. I don't mind playing on the Xbox. I didn't like Gears, but I don't mind. It's not like the controller's weird or anything like that, or the ease of
See,
use
that's funny.
is there. I
That's
think,
that's the opposite for me. Like, I don't like the controllers. If I had a choice between consoles for any AAA games, I always go PS4 because I'm way more comfortable with the controllers.
Well, me too, and that's where my friends list is. You know what I mean? Like I've got
Right,
way
right.
more friends on PlayStation than I do Xbox at this point. But it just seems like when a game comes out, I'm not like, ooh, snap, I gonna have to get that, man. Oh, it's on the Xbox? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I
Right.
haven't had, and I'm hoping that the same thing that Chris is kind of saying about what Microsoft's going to bring at this E3. I'm kind of hoping that E3 this year, they're like, and then we got this, and we got this, and we got like they
Yes.
haven't had a horizon for me that looked like, oh snap, I
Yeah.
got to get that, or obviously we freaking are fanboys for Naughty Dog and think everything they do is perfect. I don't feel like Microsoft's got that for me.
It definitely
Right.
kind of feels to me like they're obviously ramping up for Scorpio. That's their next big focus and push, which makes sense. But on all the like closing down this studio and the way that they've been quiet about exclusives, and I think there's only that we know of currently like one or two exclusives
Yeah.
coming out the rest of this year. It feels like they're about to get ready to come out at E3, drop some information about Scorpio and be like, and this is coming out. It's going to be on Scorpio, and this, and this, and
That's
this.
what I
Works
want.
on Xbox One too, but it's all going to be really, really banging on Scorpio. I feel like that's what's going to end up happening.
I think you're right, man. I think that's what will happen. They're kind of keeping everything under wraps, and I think that'll be good because that'll build anticipation and excitement. You have to come out strong with some amazing, be it new IPs, new whatever. You have to come. If new console, you got to come out strong.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious because, like I said, I've been down this road now with Xbox on 2 consoles where I buy it, I'm excited, I think that this is going to be totally awesome, and it's not necessarily the hardware's fault per se, it's just that it doesn't end up clicking with me, and I'm kind of a little bit gun shy because it's like, man, I know Scorpio is going to be awesome and it's going to sound great, but do I really want to pay, $500-$600 because that's what I think it's going to cost?
Me too.
Do I want to pay that for it to just sit there and me really not use it much?
Yep.
I'm a little timid about that running into that again.
And I'm hoping that the PlayStation, the PS Pro, has hurt the Scorpio thing. And I'm hoping that doesn't go down that way, only because you hear so many people talking about like, yeah, I got the PS4 Pro. I can't tell the difference, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that doesn't get people jacked up when it comes to the Scorpio thinking the same thing is going to happen.
Well, there does also, there's kind of with that, it does kind of, we're getting to a point where there's a bit of a diminishing return where like, yeah, okay, so at the moment I don't have a 4K TV, but even when I do and I hook up the Pro to it, like it's going to be like, yeah, it's nice and crisp in 4K, and I'm sure that the Scorpio is going to be crisper, and there's going to be improvements on it.
4K.
But like, is it going to be so much more that it's really going to matter? Like, is it going to be like going from PS2 to PS3? We've never really had like a jump like that again, or we haven't up until now.
Right.
Like that was like, oh my gosh, going from SD 4:3 to widescreen HD was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's definitely gotten better, and I like that it's gotten better, but there's not been like a huge leap again. So it almost makes me wonder, like, is all this extra power Scorpio's going to end up being really not that big of a deal in terms of translating to what the average gamer sees? People like we will notice.
Right. But don't you think that it shoots? That's why I've never understood about this little half upgrade mid console, because it feels like it shoots yourself in the foot, because you bring out this thing that's super powerful, but then you can't really make games just for it because of the install base of what you already have out there. With the new 3DS, I don't think that did half as well as Nintendo was hoping, because they couldn't make games just for the new 3DS.
I have a feeling
it's not a new console,
Yes.
I have this weird feeling that this could go down the Wii U road, where people are like, okay, but this Project Scorpio is great. Why do I need it when I already have an Xbox One?
I mean,
Microsoft has come out and said, like Phil Spencer explicitly said, like we know our main selling console is going to be the Xbox One S. This is not going to be a huge seller for us. They just want to have it as an option for like the mega fans,
Right. But are the mega fans going to be ready to drop some cash? Because
I think it's going to be expensive.
I think they've been cushioning them and preparing them over and over and over. The way that every time Phil Spencer has an interview, he talks about it as a premium console. I think they've definitely been like weaving the narrative to let people know this thing's not going to be cheap. If he comes out and says $400, I will be blown away. I cannot believe they were able to get that price. Which I mean, they could be selling it at a loss, which I think would be kind of smart because it's really more about the software. That's where you're going to make up the more of your money. But
right.
I feel like it's going to be a $600 console.
I do too.
And I think it'll be justified because of what it's bringing to the table. I'm not saying that that's like they're crazy, but average people aren't going to want to pay that.
But sticker shock is sticker shock anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's like, hey, this is going to be expensive. Hey, this is going to be expensive. Like when we go out to a really nice dinner and we're like getting drinks and the appetizer and all that, like, and you still get the check and it's like $110, you're like, oh, snap. I know that we ate that much food, but dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you know it and even though they've prepared us for it, still doesn't, especially with the internet.
Still hurts.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't keep you from being like, oh, yeah, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? You're like, dang, that's expensive.
I don't think that they're expecting or hoping or targeting in any way your average Joe gamer. They're only hoping that the hardcore of the hardcore Xbox people, which is a very vocal core, is going to be the ones that are going to go out and go crazy for this. And whenever it's going to be just like, this generation and the generation before, almost every game that got previewed on a website was done on the Xbox 360. Oh yeah, it comes on PS3 too, because the 360 was the better version. And then a lot of times this generation has been like, played on PS4, also comes out on Xbox One because maybe it runs a little bit better on PS4. It's probably going to flip to where next go around, almost everything's going to be reviewed on Scorpio, also available for PS4 Pro and all these other things. It's going to go that way. That's what they want. They want them to be the highlight and the one talked about. It doesn't matter if people buy it, as long as they get the mind share, I think. Because right now, they have lost a lot of mind share with all the kerfluffle with how Xbox One announcement in its first couple of years. It's doing really well for itself, but it could have been doing so much better if they didn't stumble out of the gate.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So
I don't consider myself a normal consumer gamer. I consider myself more of an intermediate gamer. I'm way more into the different games and into the different developers and that kind of stuff. And when I see something like Project Scorpio and they're trying to cater, I feel like they would be trying to cater to me. The 4K stuff, I don't care about that stuff. As long as it's decent enough, and as long I know you do, and that's the beauty of it. Like we're
says
all,
the guy with no 4K TV.
yeah, I don't have one yet, but I care.
And neither do I. But that's not going to make me drop $400 to $500, maybe even $600 on a console when I have a perfectly great running Xbox One and a perfectly great running PlayStation Pro. I don't need anything else, and I'm
That's
not
because you're an intermediate gamer, though. These are for the hardcore.
This could be for the fanboy.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think the fanboys have that kind of money, to be honest. I think that
when you're a fanboy, you don't need the money. You get the money.
Well, that's true.
You find a way.
You'll
You
get
find
it.
a way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where there's a will. You know what I mean?
Every one of those $30,000 millionaires will have one in their house.
And that's the only thing that worries me is like the PS4 Pro came out at a price point where the masses could still get it.
Right.
And I continually hear from Toby and those guys. They're like, listen, you want pennies from the masses, not dollars from the classes. And so there's this thing where you're like, if we could sell a grip of them, that's better than selling a few to the.
Right.
So I don't know.
You want volume. You want volume in this case,
and you want it to cross. You want it to cross pollinate. I can't imagine that they're just making this just for the hardcore gamer or the hardcore Xbox fan.
No,
hardcore
that's
gamer
the
is
thing.
going to be
I
on
don't
PC.
think they are.
The master race.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're saying that it's a premium for the hardcore gamer, but I think secretly they want the general public they want this to catch fire.
Of course they do.
Of course you do.
Of course
Yeah.
they would want that, but they're not expecting it, and I think rightfully so.
I
It's
still
not
think
going to
they
sell
are.
gangbusters.
I think subconsciously
Unless they
I think
announce
they
something
are.
crazy. Unless the freaking HoloLens comes with it or something stupid.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm telling you, if they come out and say this thing is $400,
Yeah, man, that's
my
huge.
mind will be blown, and it will sell.
Yep.
It will sell like hotcakes if it does.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
I agree.
I agree.
Especially
I'm
when they
super
start,
interested to see
especially
about
when they
it.
start putting up the stats with it versus the PS4 Pro,
Hmm.
and then they're
Yeah.
like, and it's $400. You could be like, oh, where do I
Yeah.
put my money at?
Right?
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Chris, I'm bringing this up even though I want you to comment on it.
You want me to postulate?
I want you to postulate all over this thing. You ready?
Postulate.
Colin Moriarty, leaving kind of funny.
Yep.
Immediately.
Yeah, man.
I've been reading the comments and everything when he announced a couple days ago that he was leaving kind of funny, and it seemed like some people could feel it coming and some people are caught extremely off guard.
Yes.
I don't listen to kind of funny. I didn't listen to Greg and Chris.
I did.
Back when they were on
Greg and
IGN.
Colin.
What did
Greg
I
and
say?
Colin.
Craig and Chris.
Sorry, it's early.
I'm not
And
on kind of
talking-
funny. I'm on
talking
Married to
Chris
the Games.
McCracken.
Yes.
Morning show.
Yeah. I'm going to just read this little blurb that he put up on the socials. It says, with a heavy heart and great sadness that I announce my resignation from Kinda Funny effective immediately. This morning, the guys and I had a constructive conversation. I feel that with our separate visions for the future and for the direction of the company, it's time to go our separate ways. I want to be clear that this was my decision. Just as we collaborated as friends, so too do we part. I hope you continue to support them. I simply want to reconnect with what's most important to me: politics, history, philosophy, reading books, talking about things I feel are most impactful and essential for a person like me. I want to thank everyone for their support of me and us over these years. When I started writing about games professionally in 2002 as a freshman in college, never ever did I think I'd reach the heights I did. I owe a great deal to an audience that generously sustained me, supported me, and followed me, as I also owe a lot of those who gave me opportunities to begin with. I will always remember and be grateful for this entire experience. Opportunities are already popping up for me, bringing me in a new, different, and exciting direction, a direction that I feel makes perfect sense for me. Obviously, you haven't seen or heard the last of me. Far from it. I hope that when I return with what's next, you will support me there, just as you have supported me over these many years. Your friend, Colin.
Wow.
This is funny. It didn't catch me off guard only because the only time I read anything from Colin Moriarty is when he's kind of bearing his soul a bit. And,
Yes.
And so you always felt that he was not an outsider, because he was definitely inside the thing, but like just maybe had a different bent on the way he did this whole thing.
And I don't think he is not involved with the gamer culture as much as he loves games. He loves to play games. He's very knowledgeable of it. I mean, he is a gamer definitely through and through. But I don't think that he's very attached to the culture of gaming. And I've heard it a little bit, a lot.
Exactly.
You look at Greg, who's bubbly up, and he's, happy and like just loves to play games and that kind of. And Colin just seems to be, to me, Colin's always been kind of a more crotchety old guy on the podcast. But he still loves his games, but he just doesn't want to be involved in the day-to-day. I guess I call it culture, but I don't think he's very engaging as much as somebody like Greg is. And I think
here's the difference.
He just
between
wants to
him
play
and
games.
Greg. Yeah, the difference between him and Greg and like their personalities. Like Greg does a lot of hosting jobs. He hosted
He's
Up and
the
Down for
hype
many
man.
years on IGN. He's hosted a lot of different things. Like he did not the reveal, but like they had that big event for Final Fantasy 15. Him and Tim Geddes, which are both part of Kind of Funny, they went and they hosted that event. Greg Miller was just a host with Jessica Chobot at the DICE Awards. I mean, he was Trending Gamer 2015. Like Colin has never like wanted limelight or wanted necessarily a bunch of attention.
Yeah,
so I hear what you're saying and everything. And I just want to make sure that you explained a little bit. I didn't want to, because I don't necessarily agree with the term culture, but I know you're just trying to find the right word that you're trying to say.
Yeah, I don't know what else to call it, but he doesn't want to be in the limelight.
He didn't seem all in like Greg seemed all in. Is that what you're saying?
Not that he didn't seem all in. It was more, it's just, you know those people who like, they get popularity, or let's call it fame, if you will.
Sure.
And they just feed off of it. Like it's their fuel to do more, and they just want everything that they can get. Colin appreciates being appreciated, and he likes, like, if he does something and it touches somebody, he's like, wow, man, that really means a lot. Thanks so much. But he's not the kind of guy that wants to go like out on stage in front of a crowd and like give a big presentation. Like he'll do it, and he's done it in the past, but it's not really like his thing. Right.
Definitely from the outside, way outside looking in, Colin always came across to me as more of an introvert. And so
he is.
Yeah.
I don't know that he would have. Let's say if you would have been like, all right, Colin, you're about to be on this podcast. It's going to be huge. And then you're going to do this. Like if that would have been something he would have wanted to do in the first place. You know what I mean? If he knew at what heights it was going to reach, he might have been like, well, I'm glad to be getting my voice out there to support the things I love, to talk about it, and to create a community of like-minded people. But and again, I'm on the outside looking in here, but it just seems like anything I've always been for some reason, he's always like, kind of like tickled a interest for me. Like when I think of Kind of Funny, or I think of, Beyond, I always went to Colin. Like, I wonder what Colin's thinking. You know what I mean?
Well, Colin's
honestly,
go ahead.
I was going to say, like, I trust Colin's opinion a little bit because he's much more introspective on things, and he plays a lot of different games that I'd never heard of, but like he's just that kind of gamer that just has a lot of knowledge of everything. He has a ton of platinums. Like he takes his time on games and really enjoys them. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean, to me, the best analogy for him is he's just the crotchety old man of the podcast. And that's kind of his shtick in a way. But I'm not really that surprised because I think he wants to do a lot more things, especially in politics. I mean, he loves politics. His Twitter handles "Don't Tread on Me" for crying out loud, or something like that. I think his picture has the "Don't Tread on Me" on it. So like he's very involved in the history and politics of things. I think this is just a switch for him. I think he still wants to play games, but he doesn't want to be, and maybe he doesn't want to be involved too much in the gaming culture. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Like he wants to do something else. And that's, that's
he
fine.
obviously said, I want to move on to things I'm more passionate about. And he has said pretty much forever that politics, and he was going to be like, for people who have followed him, everybody, they know this kinds of stuff. But he said multiple times, like in college, like he was on his way to become a history professor and then just gotten a job offer at IGN and took it, kind of like not really on a whim so much, but in a way like not expecting that was going to be the case. Of
course.
And then that led him into this. So his history and politics is probably like his number one thing. And then gaming would be right behind that. And I'm sure there's some truth, obviously, because he said it, that he's like, I really want to focus in on politics and all this other stuff. But the issue and what I'm guessing you maybe kind of want me to talk about a little bit more is that it's kind of divided the Kind of Funny community because it seemed like there's been a few things. Now, granted, yes, Colin does have a bit of that curmudgeon kind of reputation, if you will. But he's always the one. The main reason for that is because, especially Greg, but also the other guys in Kind of Funny, like they're very much about like having a good time, joking around, and they'll talk about new subjects and they'll get deep about things, but they're just wanting to have fun and have a good time. And Colin likes to do that too, but Colin's always bringing harder hitting topics, like to the Game Over Greggy show, which is their podcast about anything. He's the one bringing up topics that are like more often than not really like strong, like maybe the political topics or the topics about, some subject that is not just a joking matter. And not that the other guys don't do that as well, but he tend to do it more often. Whenever they're doing video game stuff, like on PS I Love You, he's the one who's really digging into the analysis and the analytics and this sold that and all this kind of stuff. He's bringing a lot of that, whereas Greg seems interested and definitely wants to talk about that. But Greg's also wanting to just joke around and have fun. And like they were a yin and yang, if you will. They worked out very well together because you had the one guy that was just, hey, I'm a bunch of fun, and the other guy that's like, I'm fun too, but I want to bring a little bit more seriousness to it. And it actually, in terms of all of Kind of Funny, he's kind of like the counterbalance to all of the craziness, if you will.
Exactly.
And I say craziness in like a fun, jovial kind of way. Like he always kind of brought it back down to earth when it needed to be, what it felt like when it needed to be. And just of late, there's been some things that Colin's done and said that have been a bit controversial, which has always been the case, but just of late, it's kind of underscored things. And it just makes it all feel like, okay, this is happening because of this, that, or whatever. And it seems like that's the reason. They're saying it's not, but there's just all this speculation, and it feels like maybe Colin was forced out or he wasn't. And to their credit, they've done as much as they can to try to say that's not the case. And even the day that they announced, or he put that on Twitter and announced his resignation, Kind of Funny does this thing every morning called the Morning Show. It used to be called Colin and Greg until this year they changed it. And they do a show that they host on Twitch every day. And obviously, that was what they were going to talk about. And Colin came out there and they kind of joked around and they had a big hug. They look very friendly, like it is indeed ending on a friendly note, which I really, truly hope that it is. I hope we don't come out like 2-3 months from now and all of a sudden there's word from this person and then somebody's making a statement and actually it was all backstabbish. I'm hoping that's not the case because
I don't think so, man. Not with the history that Greg and Colin have had.
I really hope not. I hope it
really don't think so.
So, Chris, as a fan, how are you feeling about it?
I hate it. I think it sucks.
Because
I think it's Colin and Greg to me are always what drew me in. Like when I listened to Beyond back in the day, I listened because of Colin and Greg. Like they had other hosts on there and other people that would filter in and stuff like that. Never liked it as much when it wasn't Colin and Greg.
Right.
When they moved over and did Kind of Funny, like they had the Game Over Greggy show, they have the Games Cast, which they're both on, and those are good, but I kind of somewhat fell away from them. But when they did PS I Love You, so basically they were redoing Beyond to where it's back to being just Colin and Greg, I loved it. It was like one of my favorite shows to listen to. I listened every single week. And it was very short-lived. It only lived for 2 years, essentially, or a little bit less than that, actually, because they didn't even start PS I Love You right at the beginning of Kind of Funny, I don't believe.
That's right.
No, and they were establishing Kind of Funny first.
It kind of, like, I'm not one of those people that follows everything Kind of Funny does. I have no problems with Nick and Tim. I think they're fine people, but Colin and Greg are Kind of Funny to me.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to
they were like the odd couple, I felt like.
Yes.
they're the personality. They're the I listened to them I started with Beyond. I still listen to Beyond now that they've gone anyway, and I still listen to PS I Love You. You just get a different perspective on it, and so just because they're polar opposites, I think, Chris, you're right. It's going to split their demographic apart, and it's going to split. I think a lot of people may drop out of it because of it, because some people go to listen to Greg, some people go to listen to Colin. Now that Colin's not there, that's, they have to bring in somebody pretty amazing to really fill in those shoes.
And I'll just say 2 more points and then we can move on, because I know we're getting close on time for you, Gabe. But one is that, to me, without them there, like, I'll listen to whatever happens. Like, if PS I Love You continues, I'll give it a shot. And I'll give, the other shows that I do listen to of Kind of Funny a shot without Colin being there. But I don't know that it's going to work, because I kind of already went down this road with Beyond. Like, I stopped listening to Beyond when Colin and Greg left. I tried it out, but it's like their dynamic is what drew me in.
Yeah, of course.
So them not being together, like, I'm sad to say, I feel like it's not going to end up working for me. But I'm going to give it a shot and see, because, everybody deserves a chance, and shows change. There's other podcasts I loved where hosts changed, and but the dynamic was still good, so it worked for me perfectly fine.
Then I'm married to the games.
Yeah, this show's another
I don't
one.
listen to any podcast that change the hosts.
Like, it absolutely can work, but it's a bit sad. The main thing that makes it a sad situation is that there are many people in the community that view it as though it's ending because of strife. And whether that's true or not,
I hope that's not
nobody
true.
really knows. But because there's that sense that there's strife, or that there's backstabbing involved, that's what's going to split the community. Because whether or not, it doesn't matter what they say publicly, people believe that, because perception is reality.
Right.
And so that's where it really it comes down badly.
I know nothing about any of it. And just from you reading the statement that was made, the first thing I thought was, oh, something went down. Just because it's like, we had a meeting this morning and we decided that I'm not going to be here anymore. It's like, whoa, what?
And effective immediately.
Yeah. The whole effective immediately. The picture on Twitter was the Mark Cuban with the kind of grumbled face that says, I'm out. I mean, it's like, there's all these little context clues that make you say, like, yeah, you people are saying this, but something doesn't feel right. And that's what's going to be negative. If you really
anytime somebody's not able to be themselves on a team, like, I can see, like, if I were to just use my imagination, again, I don't know these guys, but I think I can see Colin coming to the table with an idea that they hated. And he's like, but I thought this was like all of us doing this. It's like, I know, but that's not us, Colin. Come on. And he's like, yeah, but this is who I am. And can I present this and have this a part of the Kind of Funny thing? And they're like, no, but it's not funny. It's not, it's not entertainment. It's not this, that, and the other. And he's like, it would be entertainment for a sect of our community. And there's people that love my voice, and not the way it sounds, but just, and there is, like, who love who he is. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are drawn to him. And like Chris is saying, I think that there'll definitely be a split there. It's kind of like when a pastor leaves a church. Sometimes people are like, well, I'm not going here anymore. And you're like, well, they're still talking about the Bible and stuff. It's like, I know, but I'm not going here anymore. Yeah.
Right. Just the phrase effective immediately has a negative connotation to it.
Always.
Yes, it really does.
Always.
It just, the best thing would have been if this had come out and Colin just said, hey, guys, I'm leaving. I've decided I really want to focus in on politics. And if all this other controversial stuff, the weeks and months leading up to it, hadn't happened, it would be like, oh, that stinks that it's being broke up, but good for you. We wish you the best, like, from the fans' perspective and everything. It's just the perceived notion that there's stuff we don't know, and that the idea that maybe he was forced out, or that they didn't have his back or anything like that, whether it's true or not. Because people believe that, that's what's making it a whole big kerfluffle. And it's just unfortunate to see for everybody, because they all seem like really good guys in their own rights. However you want to take them, they all seem like they're good people, and
they're passionate about what they do, and that's important. I mean, I wish this would go down the way Tim Hall did it, because Tim Hall did it the right way when it came to he made the decision to leave Married to the Games, and he still stayed on. And he still stayed on for, like, there was no immediacy. It was something that he felt, and we all respected it. Gabe, we had that long conversation with him for an hour, off mic and off podcast, and it was absolutely awesome. We still talk to him. Everything is very well respected. This does not feel that way. This definitely feels like I want to do other things. You're not letting me do it. I'm out.
Yeah.
And and the immediacy of it leads me to believe that stuff went down, and now they're just trying to protect the brand of Kind of Funny, and it's going to be a very uphill battle with them because a lot of people go to listen to Colin. So interesting, really interesting.
Change is tough. Change is so tough.
Yeah, man.
Chris, you got any more you want to share on that?
No, I don't.
You got any other stories?
Nah, my stories.
Ed Placencia?
Yes, sir.
What do you do on that YouTube channel, that brethren?
Oh, on the YouTube channel. Someone's still going nuts with Horizon Zero Dawn. Parts 31 through 39 are up this week. So good job, Chris. That's awesome. And Lego Worlds, got a couple hours of Lego Worlds over there as well. So you can check those out. Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos, combining the average watch time and views for the week of this past week, because I didn't write it down this time. We've got number 10, Layers of Fear Part 13, Ghost Checkers. Number 9, Watch Dogs 2 Part 6, Bottom Dollar Complete. Number 8, Married to the Games Episode 234, Soft Like a Burrito.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Number 7, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14, Thornfell Swamp.
Nice.
Number 6, Lego Worlds live stream. Number 5, Watch Dogs 2 Part 5, Bottom Dollar Fail. Number 4, Hue Part 11, The Ending. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19, Paint Job. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2 Part 48, Go Signals.
Nice.
And look at this. At number 1, Gabe and Chris react to PSX 2016 press conference, The Last of Us Part 2.
Wow.
There it is.
I thought there was going to be a changing of the guard.
No,
know.
man.
That's not happening
the guards are
anytime
fine.
soon.
They're doing well.
The guards are fine.
They're doing their job.
Gosh. Thanks, Ed.
You betcha.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, who do you think is the worst hero in gaming? We're going to have some hurt feelings.
Oh.
Chules over at the forum. Let's start off with the hurt feelings. Master Chief from the Halo series has to be the worst for me. He's a bland character that barely talks, and when he does, he sounds like he just woke up. It's not until you read the Halo novels that you find out he's not as special as everyone thinks he is. He's just a strategist who gets lucky in combat situations. And he never takes off his helmet. Even when his other fellow Spartans are standing around with their helmets off, he leaves his on. Master Chief's a weirdo.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you can send
Matt
your
Lighty,
oops to
turn
him.
this off.
Yeah,
Turn
don't
this off,
oops
Matt
us.
Lighty.
We're just reading a statement.
Yeah. There's an oops
Chules
coming.
at 418 Mockingbird Lane. The Cage Master, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 and its spin-offs. She was super boring and overused. I can honestly say that I liked every other character more than her, yet she was the star. I just don't get it. And then Shepdog921 on the forums says, you completely stole my answer. Haha, I agree 100% to the Master Chief comment.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Over on Facebook, Justin Robert Cook, Duke Nukem is a very worthwhile honorary mention. The first game was cliche but amusing. After about 4 hours of really lame 90s jokes and awkward sexual innuendo, it gets really annoying. Otherwise, I got to give a shout out to Slippy from Star Fox 64. Fox, help me. Fox, I can't shake these guys. Ugh. I've never had frog legs before, but I thought about getting some after having spent some time with her. That's funny. Benjamin Harris. Look, y'all, I love the original Watch Dogs, but Aiden Pierce is literally the worst.
What?
Wow.
There you have it. I told you his feelings were going to be hurt.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him.
Scott Bors. Cole Phelps from LA Noir.
That's not true.
The guy had no redeemable qualities at all. It made what happened to him in the game not climactic at all, because I don't know why anyone would have any positive feelings about this guy.
Maybe because he's a cop helping people?
No,
Ed's coming after you.
No, man, it's all good,
you.
Ed.
I told you, Ed.
I can see a little bit of that. Yeah, I can see that.
Spin Nerd at DSpin67. Mario because he keeps saving the same princess over and over. He said, "Hey, Mario, you're Italian. Just have Bowser whacked, why don't you?"
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mario's in the mafia.
Nick Cooper at Nick_A_Cooper. By far, and we got a couple of these. Kratos from God of War. Great games, but what an awful human being.
Yeah, and he's very one-dimensional. He's just angry.
Yeah, exactly. One of the guys from the Reformed Gamers podcast said he's so flat and yells everything. Can you imagine him ordering at Chipotle? Guacamole!
That's awesome.
Patrick Novacell at Nova Beyond. Max Payne. Dude took drugs as health.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so funny.
amazing. That's hilarious.
And
He's not wrong.
Right, he's not.
Nope.
And lastly, Rainflow at Flowing with Rain. I told you feelings are going to be hurt. Cloud Strife. Sorry, Gabe, but he's a really emotional, whiny piece of work. Zach Fair, his predecessor, is the real hero. Cloud Strife is the main guy from Final Fantasy VII, and it's all good. I get it. It's fine. Whatever. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
Unsubscribe.
It's okay because you're wrong.
You guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Come check out the website, marriedtothegames.com. We're chatting over at the forum, making people mad, saying that Master Chief is the worst hero of all time.
Looking at you, Matt Lighty.
And like Ed said, you come check out youtube.com/Married to the Games. And Tim.
This is too easy. Rate us on iTunes so Stacey McCracken can play some more video games.
That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
nice.
Whoop, whoop. Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, Facebook, Sherry Crow. Here we go. It's all in the family this week. Since the podcast will drop on St. Patrick's Day, according to this diagram, and you have to go to the Facebook channel to see it, here are your leprechaun names. Chris, Goldie McSmelly. Gabe, Wardy McFeverish.
Oh, wow.
Ed, Bunyan McFeverish.
Ooh.
Tim, Bleary McNob.
Bleary McNob.
Yeah, which do you think fits best?
Oh, man.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Is
yeah,
it just because
there
our
you
last
go.
name start with a P is why we got the same last name, Ed Placencia?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Here's an Irish blessing for each of you laddies. May you have love that never ends, lots of money, and lots of friends. Health be yours, whatever you do, and may God send many blessings to you.
Oh,
there
man.
you go.
Thank
That's
you,
nice.
Sherry. That's awesome.
Oh,
How do you do an Irish blessing with no alcohol in there?
who says
Yeah,
there
right?
wasn't?
It didn't sound like there was.
She
It's-
was
it's
slurring as
hidden.
she said it.
There's supposed to be some beer someplace.
It's hidden.
Right.
Oh,
That's
shoot.
awesome.
That's
Thank you very
great.
much for that. Happy St. Patty's to you as well.
Yeah.
From Bleary McNob, which is so awesome. D-High, the Power Rangers movie is coming out next week. What
Nope.
was your favorite childhood show? Yeah, no, I'm not seeing
Yeah,
that.
no
What-
one here too.
What was your favorite childhood show?
I went as far as to tell my friends the other day when the commercial came on, I said, don't let me go see this movie.
Good for you.
Anything that says it's morphin time, I need to pass on.
I don't
Yeah,
need
yeah,
I
I
wouldn't have
agree.
a don't let me. I'd be like, I'm not seeing this movie.
I know, right?
Power Rangers do not
so
work
true.
for me.
Yep,
Favorite
exactly.
childhood show? Probably Thundercats.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the Ninja Turtle cartoon.
Yep. That was a good
Oh,
one.
very cool.
I watched that for a long time, and the X-Men too. The X-Men cartoon.
Oh, nice.
That was really
Nice.
Mine was G.I. Joe and Transformers, like both of them.
There you go.
I would tape those and watch them.
Nice. I would tape the Muppet Show.
As all the kids say,
No.
what's tape? The show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Easy there, young buck.
God,
Anyway.
I used to tape stuff too.
Let's move on to Twitter at Pirate Ian Corey Drake at iDrake76. That's what I'm calling him now. Pirate Ian Corey Drake. What video game made you ugly cry and at what part?
Ooh.
I've never ugly cried at a video
I've
game.
never ugly cried at a game, but definitely emotional the first 10 minutes of Last of Us for me.
Man.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Gosh. I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever
no
cried.
ugly crying.
I've never cried at a video
I
game.
don't think I have either.
I've definitely gotten emotional at a game, but I don't know that I've actually shed an actual tear, so I haven't had the ugly cry.
He's gone from pirate to baby.
Yeah, that guy.
Pirate baby.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've ever ugly cried. All right, there you go. Anybody else?
Maybe Recore.
Yeah.
Aww.
Right when you're rage quitting it because you're so frustrated.
Nice. Here we go. At Aaron Thacker, and I love that he did this in mostly emojis. So he's like, new listener, first time caller, excluding death or money. Is there anything that would cause you to stop gaming? No.
I don't think
Exactly.
so.
Death or money. If I was broke and dying, maybe.
It would have to be them combined. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be combined.
What
But
would
yeah, man,
stop
nothing.
me? I think the only thing that would stop me, and I don't think it would be because I'm not gaming anymore, but just like if life just got so busy. Like I've gotten a taste of that lately where I'm, like I told you guys, I'm only playing Zelda in like 15-minute increments. I can only think of like life got so busy that like I literally just didn't have time.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's much. I mean, outside of my wife being like, "Hey, this is a problem," and send me to AA for gaming.
And that's the thing, though, man.
Right.
Like we're all in this podcast. We're all very responsible with it. So it's not like we're trumping any of this over family.
Most days, I do pretty good.
Over family life. I'm looking at you, Gabe.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're all responsible gamers. We're responsible husbands and fathers and what have you. So I think, because I'm at one of my busiest right now with moving and everything, and it's the gaming is completely out of my life right now, and I don't like that. I don't like that feeling, and I can't wait to get back into it, and I will make time for it. And if it's 5:00 in the morning, so be it. That's the sacrifice I'm making so that I can still play games and still be with my family.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, short of it, Stacy saying, "Hey, we need to
Pull
look at
this
something
on back.
different," or if like it was somehow affecting my health, like like those streamers that stream for like 24 hours a day or something ridiculous. Like if it was something like that. But outside of those, the only thing that would make me stop is if I stop having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm not having fun, then I'm gonna stop playing. So
If gaming got
but I don't
ridiculous.
see that happening.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly. All right. Great question, Aaron. Thanks for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Aaron.
Okay, here's our final question. At Dopalicious, do you miss arcades? I loved when SF2 finally
snap,
came to
this
the
was the question
SNES.
of the week.
Oh, really?
wow.
That's so random.
But it's not the same. Relics of the past, but I kind of miss them. So, do you miss arcade? Do you miss arcades?
Yes.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Because that's the physical hangout part versus the online part of getting into a party or whatever. Like the arcades was like you all of your buddies were there, and then you could talk. You could just game and talk, and you're not just sitting on your couch with your headphones talking. You're actually physically present with people, and I
Right.
do miss that. I miss the social part of it.
Exactly.
I don't miss them.
Ed, did you do much arcading?
I didn't do a whole lot, and if I did, I usually spent most of the time playing Stare At It on the screen because I didn't have any money.
Nice.
So at home, I already own the console and the game. I can play it.
Yeah,
so.
you're looking around for the press start where somebody just put some money in and accidentally left or put too much in.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Chris?
I miss being able to go, like when I was younger, I would ride my bike up to the corner convenience store and they'd have like 2, maybe 3 cabinets and have like Street Fighter 2 or something. And I would go and play with a couple of my friends. I do miss the social aspect of it. I never really went when I was younger to like a big arcade where they would have like 50 machines or anything. And I feel like, I don't know if it's just where I am in the country, but I still have access to that. Like there's still like 4 or 5 different really good arcades just within like a 20-minute drive of where I am. So I feel like I can still get it. So I don't know if I'm a bit spoiled, but I don't have quite the longing for it because I can still get it. So.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice. Thanks, everybody, for all the questions. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it leads to the question of the week was just so random. I said, for those old enough to remember, what was your favorite arcade growing up? I'll give you guys a second to think. My answer is Aladdin's Castle. There's a place called Aladdin's Castle. I think they were all over the place, but I went to the one in San Francisco. I don't remember what city it was actually in, but when I would go visit my grandparents during the summers, my grandfather would take us to Aladdin's Castle. Tim?
There was an arcade at the beach at Ocean City, New Jersey on the boardwalk. In fact, there were actually two. And every mid-afternoon and evening, I'd walk up there and just play and just have so much fun. So yeah, that's where I was.
There you go. Chris?
It's Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. I played the mess out of those.
That's your favorite arcades growing up?
Yeah, those are the ones I played the most. Whenever I would go to one, if they did have stuff, if they had one of those two, that's what I was playing.
Which one would you go to?
More often than not, I would do. If they had both, I would go to Mortal Kombat. But
your arcade was called Mortal Kombat.
say what?
I tried to steer him in the right direction.
Yeah,
That was great, and it didn't work. But nice try.
We'd be like Arcade Place, like the arcade you would go to.
Oh, Arcade Place. Oh, well, I just went to the
Location.
convenience store. I thought you were talking about the actual game. My bad.
That's awesome.
I would only go to the corner store out over in
now
our
I
area.
think it's
the
funnier
convenience
that
store.
you thought I played a game as a child called Aladdin's Castle.
I really was. I was like, never heard of that one.
Yep.
Like, but okay.
Oh my gosh! Or that
was
Tim
good.
played. There's two down at the anyway.
There's two on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. That's a really long title. You have to Google map that one.
Ed,
I always liked playing arcade at the Glenbrook Mall in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
There you go.
did it have a name or was it just called the arcade?
It just said arcade on the front of it.
There you go. I think
Yep.
that and there was a
Arcade.
place called Tilt I grew up with too. That was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
Which is a playoff pinball, right? Isn't that what
Yeah.
pinball says when you shake it too much?
Tilt. Yep.
Tilt.
Sweet. Well, let us know you guys' favorite arcade place that you would go into.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Space Ace.
Use hashtag AnswerMTTG. It is a morning show. I butchered Colin's name, so I totally get it. And let us
I'm just
know.
trying to wake y'all up.
Exactly.
That's
Thank
right.
you guys
You got
so
it.
much for listening. 2:35 of the books. We hope to see you guys next week. And thanks for being here this week. I'm Gabe
Thank you.
Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we about this thing. Big!